Hello, YouTubers. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Monday, December 9th, 2019. Hello, Roshan. How are you? Okay, I want to get into this story. This is a new update of a story I discussed on this channel. It is pertaining to Mr. Sylvester Kelly, R.Kelly. He has been brought up on new federal charges stemming out of New York, and the indictment is of acts that took place in Cook County. It is dating back to 1994, August of 94, when Mr. Kelly petitioned a marriage license for he and Miss Alya, and the document is stating that the indictment is stating that he paid a public official and or public officer, public employee, the day before the license was made to have it to go forward, and it was forged documents. It is stating in this indictment that Miss Alya was 18 years of age on the document and Mr. Kelly was 27. In actuality, Miss Alya was 15 years of age, which is underage in the state of Illinois. So, new indictment out of New York for said crimes taking place in Cook County. That's what this indictment states. And in this indictment, also, he is charged with racketeering and bribery. And of course, you all know that he was also indicted on child porn and obstruction of justice. So, new charges stemming out of New York City for bribing a state employee. Now, he was over the age of consenting, but she was not. She was 15. But they lied on the documents and said that she was 18. And so that is the new indictment coming out of New York City against Mr. Kelly. And in this indictment, they are also stating that he and his entourage toured the country to intentionally seek out young women for illegal sexual activity. That is also stated in the indictment. Now, there was a documentary made, most of you probably know about it, that aired on Lifetime, and it was called Surviving R.Kelly. And in that said documentary, his former tour manager gave a commentary about being involved in the forging of those documents, and he stated in that documentary that he feels bad about his participation in that. And also, with that commentary being said in that documentary, that is now being introduced into this federal indictment against Mr. Kelly of bribing an official to forge the documents, the marriage license, which led to he and Aaliyah being married. Okay, so that is new information stemming out of New York for acts done in for a crime committed in Cook County, Chicago, Illinois. Now I'll give you my commentary. This information, if you need verification, comes from CBS Chicago News. Now, at the time, as I stated, back in the day when I had heard rumors about them dating, whatever, I didn't really get all into that. I never knew that they were married. I think it was down the line years later that I heard that they were. And as I stated, that marriage was annulled once her parents got wind. It was annulled. I do not know when exactly the marriage was annulled by her parents, how long she was married, but it was. And of course, there was rumors circulating when this documentary came out, Surviving R. Kelly, that the parents had knowledge, of the marriage and that they played along. I do not know, but those were rumors that were stated that they had knowledge at some point that they got married. And it may have been a while before the marriage got annulled. Now, there are also rumors that he paid off her family once it got out that they had knowledge thereof, and he paid to keep them quiet. Now, I do not know if that is true or not, but as I stated, those were rumors that circulated, and they came out, I think, more when the documentary aired, that they were paid after the fact of the marriage, I guess, to keep quiet. As I stated, that is alleged. I do not know if that is true. true or not. And allegedly, they had knowledge, I guess, at some point that they got married, and allegedly maybe did not go straight ahead with getting it annulled or notifying the police that a grown man had bedded their child. But as I stated, allegedly, these were rumors that circulated once that documentary aired, because there was a lot of things to assume with the documentary if you have watched the documentary. Some people believe some of the things that are said, some people do not. But as I stated, the former tour manager gave commentary in that documentary, and his commentary of what happened with R.Kelly and Aaliyah and said situations are now in a federal indictment, in the current indictment that it has been brought against Mr. Kelly. Now I'll give you my commentary. Oh, I gave you part of it, didn't I? Okay. Ooh, baby, it's a hot mess. It's like, it's what I keep saying about chaos. Chaos breeds chaos. There will always be someone or something to jump off from something that was said at the time, yesterday, whenever, because that's what chaos does. It latches on, and it keeps latching on, and it holds on for dear life, and it don't let up. And even when people start talking about a said subject, it keeps going on and on. And I think it's so interesting that now that they want to bring this indictment forward for the forged documents for the marriage, I'm thinking to myself, somebody knew that they were forged. This gentleman, he knew. Other people probably knew as well. Back then, they knew she was underage. People who rode the ride along with him, they knew she was underage. They knew he was messing around with her, and they didn't say anything. So when people jump on and act like, well, some of these women are lying and this, that, and the other, Alya is a prime example of what he was doing wrong, 25 years ago, okay? He was wrong for bedding that little girl, okay? He was out of line. And people who rode the ride and had knowledge thereof, they were wrong. If her parents had knowledge that she was messing with this older man, they were wrong, you see. But all that was pushed under the rug. And I won't doubt if he paid her family. It wouldn't surprise me, because it has been alleged that he has paid several family members of young girls to be quiet and not say anything. So nothing would shock me at this point coming out. And it's sad that, yes, she's deceased, and her name is now coming back up in an indictment, because a lot of people didn't like the fact that her name was brought up in the surviving R.Kelly. People felt like you should let the dead rest. But I just think it was pertinent that people knew that they had married one another and that she was underage, so people can get an idea that some of these allegations against him are not fraudulent and fake and for money. It's that he did have a penchant for young girls. He married a young girl, so common sense would tell you he was in her company, and in her company sexually as an adult, and she was a child. Now, what's going to play out in the courts, I have no idea. But it is messy, murky, grimy, and it's sad. Because R. Kelly knew better to be out here luring these girls and trying to get with them and using his entourage to give out his phone number. That is one of the MOs that was used by Mr. Kelly. He would use one of his paid people to hand his telephone number out to young girls when he was at malls, at concerts, after the concert, in meeting and greeting young women. That was his MO. Passed his telephone number along. They call him. One thing led to another. And it's sad, because this world is filled with beautiful women. He didn't have any reason to be seeking out young ladies and asking others to seek them out. And they are just as guilty as he is for partaking in handing out his number or passing a message. It's wrong. And most of you don't want to admit that it's wrong, but that tells me a lot about a lot of people out here. If you want to ride the ride and think it's okay for an adult to be seeking out children for company, sex, or whatever, there's something wrong with you. And that's my personal opinion. Now, are all the allegations that have come across and against Mr. Kelly are true? I cannot say. Yes, some of the allegations are from women who were legally grown at the time. And yes, they had free will to leave, but I don't know all the circumstances in those cases. I just listen. But do I think he is foul and rank? Yes, I do. I think he is a foul person. I think Mr. Kelly is a narcissist. I think he used his status as a famous person to seek out young women, grown women, and he used his status to his advantage to get with these women and partake with them sexually. I think he was probably a sadist behind closed doors, which, of course, what people do behind closed doors is their business. But there's a fine line between, hey, do you want to do this or that? And maybe the people say, the ladies say, well, no, not really, but they comply anyway. That is their business. And why some stayed along for the ride, even though they didn't care for his sexual taste, I don't know. And a lot of that was revealed in a book and said commentary in the documentary. But one thing I will say, I will speak on children. He had no reason to be seeking out underage girls. Too many women in the world that he could seek out that are grown and above the age of 18. And that's how I feel about that said subject. When I get more information, I will surely bring it to you. And I thank you all for following, listening, sharing. Thank you guys for the live last night. I enjoyed it. Thank you, my fans, new watchers, those who stop by, and the naysayers as well. I thank you too, because it just shows me a lot of you don't have very much to do with your time. Did you stop over here and want to stalk the queen with crazy nonsense and commentary? It's not that serious. It's not that serious. But anyway, I thank my fans because I love you and I enjoy talking to you guys. You all be safe out there. Happy holidays to everybody. Be mindful of the children. Be mindful of your friends, your neighbors, your family. See something, say something. Want to keep everybody around. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.